Welcome back to another episode of the LoFi podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 2, titled Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Which is weird, because when we were watching it off of HBO...
It doesn't have...
It said 69.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
It even
It said that last time though, didn't it?
No.
Or it said 68 last time?
Well, last time it didn't have the episode number either.
Yeah, well, this one had the episode number of 69, that was
And
it.
the behind
Yeah.
the scenes.
Yes.
Even the behind the scenes, it was like behind the scenes of 69.
Do they, do you think they did that for spoiler stuff? Like, they don't want to let you know?
I think that's maybe just...
And HBO Go.
Maybe?
Maybe. To
Yeah.
preemptive
Oh,
spoiler.
that would be considerate of them.
Right?
That
Yeah,
an actual thing.
Because it was like that last time too, so I think that's probably what they're going to do every episode. is,
They just reveal the title later, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Because we didn't find out until we watched the behind the scenes and we were like, that's why we named this episode that. And we're like,
Yeah.
what? 69?
I don't think anyone's 69 in that one. It maybe
Oh,
almost happened in this one. All right. Well, this episode, like the rest, are going to be full of spoilers. So if you have not seen episode 2, turn away and then come back. If you remember to put a reminder just on your phone, just talk to Siri. Be like, "Hey Siri,
Not everyone has
remind
iPhones.
me." Oh shit. Tell
I was gonna say
Google,
Gamora.
Gamora.
Cortana.
Cortana.
But-
So
Gamora.
Cortana. Come back to the LoFi podcast. With that being said, Caleb here is going to be in charge of our episode breakdown today.
Yeah.
We're going to go over the list, the numbers.
He's our maester?
I'm the maester today.
Maester.
He's
I
our
forgot my
resident maester.
chains, but no, it's okay.
Like, who needs
Whatever.
Maester Wolken when you have
You'll be flayed.
Maester
It's okay.
Caleb?
It's very true.
I was going to say the last name on that, but... So, what do we got, man? What do we got for episode 2?
So here's the thing. You know, last episode we got the preview of the trial of Jamie. Okay, this
Yeah.
episode starts with the trial of Jamie. I thought it might have some like walking.
I thought
to
so
it,
too. I thought that'd
But
be...
they were like, no, right there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, cool. So then that scene happens.
Yeah.
You know, Daenerys is like, you know, we used to hear stories about how the man who killed our father and how we would kill him and all this stuff, blah blah. And then, oh, she gets mad. She's like, Cersei said she was bringing an army. And he's like, nope, she's not bringing an army.
Yeah, basically confirms, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there was talk of like, is he or isn't she? Because you see that the Golden Company was there, but
Yeah.
I think we theorized like, what if she's still going to send them, but then betray them? But it turns out she's not even sending them at all.
Yeah.
She's
all.
waiting
She's just-
for the pickup
She's
Yeah.
just chilling.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
the back.
So,
She's just going to clean up.
in the
Yeah,
south. where
that's what
it's
she
warm.
said. She said she was going to do that. So she was going to let the monsters kill each other, and then they would attack.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Then at this point, right? It's like,
So you're kind of wondering what's going to happen to Jamie, and then I forget how, but essentially Brienne stands up for Jamie, which I thought was super cool.
yes.
I
got feels when she stood up and like stood next to him and everything. I was like, oh, Brienne, she's defending him. What is that
This is what I
sign?
have, like,
What is this?
It's a love triangle, man.
Well, I mean,
I don't know who I want her to end up with, because I like them both.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
But she loves Jamie.
Yeah, and I think
But
Jamie
does he
actually,
love her?
But I think he actually
I
likes
think
her
he
for
kind
who
of
she
does,
is.
but
Whereas
he-
Tormund likes her because, like, oh, I love the giant woman. She's so...
I mean, that was love at first sight.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he
I
went
guess-
hard for it.
He
Like,
fell
sure,
as
it's
soon
true.
as he saw her, dude. He was done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
I
true.
love that. I appreciate that.
And I would want her to have someone who's gonna love her for her, and who fell in love with her right away, instead of Jamie, who had to fall in love with her after being her captive.
And I think Jamie still obviously probably has feelings for Cersei, obviously.
Yeah.
And maybe a lot of what
Yeah.
stops him is the
I mean,
fact
he's a
that like he's
Sister Fister. So.
yeah, well he's already in love with her in a sense, right? And then having to now make room for another, let's say, secretive,
Lady.
relationship. or whatever.
love. Yeah.
So
Call them
brand.
out. Yeah.
yeah.
So like, okay, but why does he do the awkward like far away stare? But when he's talking to anyone else, he's just real like eye contact and real just fine. But when he's in a group of other people, he does the I'm a fucking sage, just wisdom throwing out there.
Who's this?
Bran.
Bran.
Oh,
He stares into like nothingness, like if he's blind.
he's watching stuff.
Yeah, I think you said it.
I think it's like
because he's in a room full of people.
I don't know, man. It just, I
But
think,
when he's one-on-one, he can talk to you.
yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a
Yeah,
weird
like a
approach. I think it would have been better
I mean,
a
you
little bit
think
had
maybe
they
he's-
had him more of a. He's not such a
person.
weirdo,
Yeah, you would
right?
think you would think he'd be normal, but he had a very traumatic
He's a
childhood.
raisin.
Yeah.
A raisin.
A
Raven.
He's a raisin.
He's a three-eyed raven.
He's a raisin.
He's a
He's a
three-eyed
three-eyed raisin.
He's a three-eyed
If
raisin.
this fucking podcast had titles, that would be
Three-eyed
fucking
raisin.
title.
Please get one of the California raisins and put
Yay!
it in the bottom corner with three eyes.
No.
Thank you. Thank
No.
you. Yes.
So
then
discourse,
Sansa,
right?
Sansa defends, or she asks Brienne, like, "Oh, like I trust you. Would you trust this man?" Type of thing. And she's like, "I would."
I thought that was fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super
for
cool.
sure.
Still liking Sansa. Her
Yeah.
points are keep going up.
For me, I wasn't liking her too much, but then when she's there trusting Brienne, I'm like, good.
Because she still has
Fucking
loyalty, and then the North.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Yeah.
And I also like that she calls out that like you wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for
Yeah.
Jamie in the
She has
first
to remind
place or
her,
whatever.
for sure.
Yeah.
Which I think also maybe helped further her point or whatever. Like I think that was important for her to know that like, hey, like I understand their sides and shit, but even when you thought he wasn't on your side, he still fucking technically was. So I think that made her feel dumb or whatever, or at least realize right that she's like, oh, I should probably be listening to her or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
So after that, they let Jamie go or let him be a part of the community.
Well, Daenerys-
John's like, it's one more man we need. I
Yeah.
don't care. He's like,
I
John
think,
doesn't care. He's like, I don't care. We're about to find a bunch of dead people. Like, who cares?
yeah.
And Daenerys is like, okay, fine.
Yeah, I think she was looking for like help into like killing him, right? 'Cause she's like, "What do you
Yeah.
think?" Well, what do you think instead?
Yeah.
Like help me out, babe. Shouldn't we kill him?
That
And
was
he's
what
like,
that
"Nah,
was.
we need him." So I think maybe a little bit of frustration on her part too.
Yeah.
And you could tell at this moment because like when they get up to like leave, like he just kind of like takes off, and she kind of like wanted to like talk to him. Like, you can tell he's still thinking about what he was
very
fucking
avoidant.
told the last episode. Obviously, like he still has it reeling in his mind at that point.
Like, that's his aunt. He knows that now.
Yeah.
he does.
That's his aunt.
Then Khaleesi kind of questions Tyrion's like intelligence, I
Yeah.
guess, in a sense. She's like, I thought you were smarter than this, blah blah. And he's like, sorry.
Yeah.
I've been out of the game for a while, I guess.
Yeah, he fucked up, right? It's like I said last time. It's like I think it was more just wishful thinking,
Yeah.
But like again, not being out in the shit, right? Like kind of dulled his senses,
Yeah.
to this kind of stuff or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah. So then we have Jamie meets Bran by the tree.
That's right.
oh yeah, and he's like, why didn't you tell him?
Didn't you tell anybody? And I was like, I thought people knew. I was a
No,
little confused by that.
Well, because it's like rumors, right?
He was in a
That's-
coma, and then Theon attacked Winter. Winterfell.
so then they all took off. So I don't think he ever had the chance to tell anybody, really.
Yeah. Okay, I guess so. Yeah. So then there was that little interaction, which was interesting. It was
Yeah.
fun. Then we got our first moment of Steamy Gendry. He's like doing that metal, and that steam's just coming up. He's got that muscle, and Arya's just
Yeah.
like,
Does he have dirt
Yeah.
on his
Yeah,
face?
he's
Just
got
from where he's got the
sweat
smut
everywhere,
a little
just-
bit.
Just like picking it up.
and she's looking. She's like, oh wow.
Arya just fucking. I was like, no, Arya, stop! You're a child.
This episode and her. What they do that for?
So I thought that was quite funny because I
Yeah.
saw it. I was like, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, dude. You see her coming, and you're like, what's going on?
And so they had that little interaction. Oh,
Yeah.
how tough are they? And he's like, well, they're just
Yeah, which like I thought his explanation was fucking terrible. Like they're bad. It's like, well, yeah, but and then she asked all the questions I wanted to know. Well, how the fuck? How they look? How do you kill them? Like, how strong are they? And he just, what did he say after
It's
he said
bad.
his new fucking
Like,
response
dead,
wasn't
they're dead.
yeah
Death or
they're
something.
like death. It's like
Yeah.
fuck you, Henry, man. Not helping me out here.
But then she shows them with
Yeah.
her little...
Oh yeah, she's like shows them what she can
knives.
fucking do.
Yeah.
And she's like, finish my weapon. Then Tyrion and Jamie kind of talk for a little bit on the wall, just talking about old times and how things would be simpler. And And then Tyrion's like, well, if I become a zombie, I'd like to go rip Cersei up myself, or whatever. And then Jaime sees Brienne on the field, like, kind of like...
Oh yeah, like commanding, right?
And so Jaime goes to talk to Brienne, and then she's like, what's up with you? Why are you acting all weird and nice and stuff? He's like, will we not be nice?
Oh, this is also where we see that Pod's a badass now too.
Yeah, Pod is actually like, he's actually a good fighter, because for forever she would always try to teach him.
He's got a big dick.
And his hair's longer too.
Yeah.
I think, did he get chubbier? He looks a little chubbier.
No, I think it's because his hair's long, because he used to have like really short hair.
Yeah,
I mean, I know he already had like a big face, like I do.
He was like a baby face when they first
Yeah,
introduced
I guess
him.
so,
Yeah, so they have their little talk, which I was like, oh. Okay.
Oh, and he tells her, right, like,
He's
she's like, I'm going to be commanding the left flank or whatever.
And he's like, yeah, I'd be happy to serve you or something like that.
Serve under you.
Serve under you. So.
Hey!
Then Jorah advises Khaleesi, like, hey,
Yes.
you should listen. I mean, Tyrion makes mistakes, whatever.
Everyone's backing him, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
everyone's telling her, like, he's a good dude. Like,
Yeah,
he
which
just
I thought was super
fucked
cool.
up. You
Yeah,
know?
I thought it was super cool. Jorah was like, I like Jorah in this moment because he's telling her about Tyrion, and he tells her, oh, also you should probably talk to Sansa because everyone kind of can sense there's like tension between you two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was big of Jorah because, I mean, this is an easy opportunity for him to get back in there if he really wanted to.
Yeah, because she
Daenerys
even
and stuff.
says earlier when she's like, I'll find a new hand if I need to.
Yeah.
And then I think Jorah's like, nah.
She shot him a look, though, right? When she said that?
Yeah,
She
shot
shot a
him.
look at Jorah, like,
Yeah.
like you're fucking gonna be my
Next.
backup there.
Yeah. And so that's when he was like, as much as I'd love to do that, Tyrion is the man. Like he's the man.
I think she knows. I mean, he knows. Jorah knows that Tyrion's like right or perfect
He wouldn't
for the
shut
job
up
or
that
whatever.
whole rescue job.
As much as she wanted to kill him before and stuff, he's like, nah, he's a good dude. Like, I mean, obviously, it's like she said, right? Like, I need you for your brain or whatever, basically. And
Later on, she mentions
exactly.
that.
So he's serving his purpose or whatever. But yeah, I thought she was maybe being a little overly harsh considering it's his first fuck up. But I mean, I know I wouldn't even call it a mistake. I'd say he was just hoping for, right? Like I said before. But I mean, obviously everyone's saying he made a mistake, including him. So I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna treat it as a mistake then.
Yeah.
So he fucked up, dude. He trusted Cersei. That's a huge fuck up.
He underestimated her and overestimated
To
his
even
own.
think that she would fucking try to do shit like that and try and help out just because of the baby, nah. She's diehard,
Which I
never
still
gonna give up that
question
fucking crown.
about her baby. I still
Still?
question.
Jamie
Yeah.
You
confirmed
think
it.
she doesn't? Yeah, Jamie
even though he
confirmed
says
it.
like, oh yeah, no, it's true, but I don't know. I still question it until I see an actual belly. Like I don't know if I trust it yet.
9 months.
Well, we got only a couple
It's a long
episodes
way
left,
to go.
man.
So then one of the cooler scenes of this episode is when Khaleesi and Sansa are talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They're kind of bonding for a moment.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, that we've been under, adversary, I guess.
Yeah.
And then both overcome it. And then they're having a nice moment, they're touching hands. And then Sansa's like, what about the North there? And then just
I thought that was
kills the moment.
That was fucked up. Yeah, of her to just like not straight out be like, well, we'll handle it, or give her some sort of like, we're allies. Like, I'll take care of you. At least
just
some
like it was
sort of.
before. Like,
It
why
was
wouldn't
just
she have
like
said
a-
something like
The
that?
Oh, all right.
7
Yeah.
kingdoms, all 7 were taken from her family. She wants all 7 back under her name.
But
I mean, she could have, but then that would
She
be
can't do it by
deceitful. She wants to
herself.
do, like, nah,
but there's gonna be
me.
no more kingdoms.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, I thought that was kind of weird of Daenerys to be like, oh, okay, like, if I was Daenerys, I'd be like, okay, well, maybe we can figure something out,
Right.
That's what
At
I'm
least
saying.
try and broker some sort of reassurance that everything's gonna be fine.
I mean, and
Yeah.
maybe they would have without the interruption, because, I mean,
Well, no, because Daenerys
Well,
got
yeah,
pretty,
because
like,
even she was.
well, she was thinking about it, right? Like,
she
that's-
asked her how many times.
How do you just
Twice?
give away a kingdom in 4 seconds? You have to think about it.
Well, but Sansa said, like, we were under the rule and we broke away and we would like our own little section or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that we're going to attack you guys, but it's just like we don't want to be under that rule.
7.
I don't think Sansa was asking for much.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. But I think,
But I think Daenerys would take it
I think she
personally.
took it maybe a little harder than I think she should have, especially now that she's like a lot colder than she was when we first
She
saw
had
her.
to be.
She's
Oh, yeah.
literally colder.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing about this piece, at least, was like the fact that they were having this real, like, genuine moment with each other, like actually kind of seeing eye to eye. Obviously, before the kingdom shit comes up or whatever, but like her, touching her hand and everything, like it was genuine. And I think that's the first time you see Sansa like not be a bitch, or at least kind of open up a little bit to being like open to being cool with someone here who's she sees as a possible enemy or whatever. I thought that was a nice moment overall.
Yeah, and I also like the moment where Sansa says like, "Oh, men will do stupid things for women," but Daenerys is like, "Hey, but I'm the one who technically followed him up here. I'm fighting his war.
Yeah.
Like, I asked for his help because to rule the Seven Kingdoms, but I'm coming up here to fight his war."
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. Like, I hadn't even thought about that. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's true."
So she's willing to sacrifice, which means that if it really came down to it, maybe she would let Jon be king and have her be queen, because either way they'd both be ruling.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean, maybe we don't know because she did get mad, but later on.
She seemed a little pissed. But you know what? In that scene, I liked Sansa's fucking outfit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the whole time.
I mean, yeah, she sat on the whole time. That
Gothic.
cool little fucking, that little.
It almost looks
chain.
like a battle dress.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like she's
yeah,
ready to
totally.
fucking go to war and shit.
Mhm.
Dressed all
I
bad.
also like the scene in the sense because I think Daenerys the whole time, the whole series, when she's wanting something, she just takes it. And usually it's bad people she's taking it from. Like, I want a city, I'm going to just rule it. I'm going to take this land, I'm going to take this from the masters, I'm going to do whatever. She just goes and she just takes. Now that she's in the Seven Kingdoms, there are actual politics that needs to be in that. I don't think she was ready for just politics. She was just ready just to rule. Like, oh, I'm just going to take it like I've taken everything else.
Yeah.
Well, it's war. She's fighting for it.
Yeah, and so I think now that with the whole Sansa thing, I think it's just a whole like, okay, now there's actual politics and there's things you need to talk about and figure out instead of just taking things all the time.
Yeah.
I thought that was maybe a lesson Daenerys is learning
Yeah.
right now. I don't know.
Yeah, like the seven, at least at this side of Westeros, or whatever,
Yeah.
right? It's completely different from
Eastern.
Pentos.
Well, she's still
and-
burning castles, making people bend the knee. So she doesn't want it to come to that because this is Jon's family. But
Yeah.
in the end, she's gonna do what she
Yeah,
has to do.
I mean,
Which is
like
going
all
to with
relationships.
Sam's,
yeah, which is
parents.
Sam's
Dad and brother.
gripe with her. Yeah, like, oh, Jon you wouldn't do that,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
she's over here doing that. But because she has to, because she's foreign in this land, she's taking back what's hers.
Yeah.
The next scene I also really like. It's a small scene, but Sir Davos is serving food, and this little girl that reminds him of the
I fucking cried.
of
Yeah,
the girl.
yes.
I
I
did.
her face.
Cried fucking
I cried.
hard.
And I was like, oh, it was such a nice moment. Like, that's what I loved about the past two episodes. Even though they've been slow and not action, every like scene has been such a nice scene.
It's like moments.
Yeah,
Fun
and then,
fights!
and then Gilly,
And you're,
and I like how Gilly shows up. Like, hey, this is the first time we see Gilly, and she's like, oh,
She looks
yeah.
pregnant.
She looks
She looks
pregnant.
big.
She looks
it's
pregnant.
weird, yeah.
Maybe
like-
she is a real
like
life.
the
Pregnant.
actress. I don't
Yeah,
know
like-
if they're trying to cover that up, or I don't know if Sam put
She
another
looked
in her.
pregnant,
but she
like
looked
in the
fucking
show,
pregnant.
so maybe
Yeah.
they're gonna say it's Sam's, but like she is
It'll be
pregnant.
Sam too.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that she would.
Oh, no.
She would.
And I like how she was like, "Oh, you can protect us in the crypts or whatever." I'm like, oh, it's really nice. It's really nice. So that was a really nice moment.
Yeah.
And then we have the boys come back. So like the
Night's Watch.
last
watch-
Hearth
Yeah.
crew.
yeah. So
Right.
like the
Tormund,
and the night
eye patch guy,
Night's Watch.
Night's Watch.
and
Yeah.
and Night
Beric.
Watch black guy.
uh,
What,
And what's
Beric?
the first
You want
thing
the long hair?
Tormund
No,
says?
Beric's
Beric
on
is the one with the
back.
eye patch.
Oh, Beric,
The
okay.
flaming sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they come back. John sees his old friend. Tormund interrupts. A nice,
Oh,
funny
Tormund.
Where's
scene.
the big girl?
Where's the big woman?
I love that. That was his first question.
Yeah.
Just like looking for her, like,
The big woman's still
where's the
here.
big woman?
He loves her.
So that
I
was
love that he loves her.
Yes, that's the best.
that was a great little moment. And then after that, they start talking. John starts talking about the battle plan. Okay, they have a bunch of White Walkers. The only way to defeat them is the Night King. And so then Bran finally reveals to us, oh yeah, he'll come straight to me, guys. By the way,
He's got his mark on me.
It's
Yeah.
weird that he wants Bran. Like that's his goal.
Well, but
It's an
they
interesting-
explained
I
why.
understand.
They
Yeah.
do explain why, but it's crazy how like all of this is for Bran. Like this whole undead army.
Well,
I mean, the world,
to kill
right?
the three-eyed raven, which
Yeah.
Bran
I think it's definitely
happened to
part
be
of
in.
the
Yeah.
plan. Yeah, it's definitely part of his grand scheme. It's like one of the bullet
Of
points.
conquering.
I need to get to this next point. Yeah, it's to kill Bran.
Which I thought was pretty fucking meta was the fact of like how do you kill mankind? It's like you erase all history of it, you erase its memory even and stuff like that. Which I thought was pretty crazy of like forgetting about a civilization of people or whatever is like death itself or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of preserving right in archives and photos and everything, the fact that they want to completely wipe out and erase all of human history and shit like that was fucking crazy.
That's what the Maester was telling Sam, right? He was like, what separates everything? You know, we've stood here. Everyone was going crazy when this was happening, but still we stood still. We stayed here in the Citadel, and we remember, and we have everything, and that is it.
Because history repeats itself. So as long as you're aware of the fact that, you know, with ups comes downs and downs comes ups, like it's just gonna equilibrium. Like it's all about balance. Life's all about balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Night King needs to get to Bran. They're figuring out, okay, we need to have dragons close, but not too close. We'll drag right and kill the Night King. Then the obvious character that's going to die, Theon, is like, I'll protect you. You're so dead. It's so obvious. Theon was redeemed so much that he's going to die. I just see it coming. So that was a cool scene too. I like that whole battle plan scene. Oh,
I was
yeah,
gonna
had all the
say
major players there.
yeah.
Well,
No, I was gonna say too. When they're talking about the past or whatever, I was like, when they were looking at everyone, I was like, this is such a crazy thing from season 1. It's like all the old generations are really just past and dead because they're all fighting each other. Now it's all the new generation in a sense that's here now at the very end.
Yeah,
Fighting for humanity.
I thought that was kind of cool.
I like the when they're planning out their stuff, and then they even show like a little overview of Winterfell, and Bran's like, "I'll wait for him in Godswood" or whatever. I mean, you never knew exactly where it was in Winterfell, but they show like it's this huge kind of like area where it's by itself or
They
whatever.
had to redesign for this season.
Yeah, I mean the whole set's even right. Like they made like larger sets for it or whatever. But I thought that was cool because I like getting a sense of like location and stuff like that. So the fact that they even showed, even just for a couple of seconds, like where Godswood was in Winterfell, as well as like what their battle plans, what their armies set are like to defend and stuff like that. Like I like seeing that kind of stuff.
It's the details.
Yeah, it's the details.
Definitely. So then after the battle plan, we have the whole long fireplace talk. It's split up, but I put it together.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it's a lot of it's so like cool to see these characters like Tyrion back with Podrick and Ser Davos and Jaime, and then Tormund joins and tells us about his whole giant smoke. And so all this is really nice.
Story.
All this is really nice conversation. And he's asked Brienne about, I've been knighted or whatever. She's like, no, it's not a tradition or whatever. And Jaime's like, well, I'll do it right now.
Only a knight can also knight a knight. Right?
Yeah. And this is the scene where I wanted to cry.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Like,
I fucking felt it for Brienne, especially.
Yeah, and I loved her. I loved her. Such good acting in that scene. How she was almost crying, but then such a good.
And like well deserved and everything, you know. What I mean?
deserved.
Like,
If anything,
She's the best person in that whole show.
She's the most knightly person out of all of them.
Paladin.
Like Jaime, like anyone, she's the
Yeah.
most knight
out of all of them, man.
Yeah, so I was like, that was such a good scene.
Yeah.
What is it? Lawful good paladin.
Yeah.
Like, does what she says she's gonna do.
Yeah. For like for the sake of good. And
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
For the sake of others, Sansa.
Yeah. And like everyone, and I'm like, what do all these people have in common? But then I think they said it in the behind the scenes where like they were all enemies of House Stark at some point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. I was like, oh cool, I didn't realize that. Like I was like, why are you putting all these people together? It's like that's why.
Well, yeah, even Tyrion said it. He was like,
Oh,
we all
he said it in the
fighting-
episode.
he was
right.
That's right. I'm
we were
sorry.
fighting the Starks.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. I think that was also a good because they split it up, right? But it was split up, and it kind of let you breathe a little bit. There was like funny moments in that or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially the fucking giant's milk stuff. Which I was gonna ask. Do you think that's true? Probably.
What?
Him like actually at 10 Like, yeah, or that let's say that even actually happened.
I'm gonna choose to believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll believe it.
Same.
I'll believe anything he says.
I don't care if there was an actual story to that.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah.
The way he checked
The
the
way
notes,
he
I
says it
believe
too, I was like, yeah,
He sold that
I want to
story.
believe
Yeah,
him.
he sold
I'm
it.
done. That's what happened.
Yeah.
It's the
Doesn't
way
seem
he's
like a liar
coming down. I was
either.
like, Jesus Christ, man. I was cracking up.
He's not known to lie, so he's. I'm
Yeah, that's
pretty sure.
true.
He's the
That's
best.
true.
She should be with him.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's true. Those, all of them, all those good scenes.
Two hands. Yes.
Jesus.
So that was another great scene. And then the next scene, I'm pretty sure, was yes, Arya and the Hound. I didn't write that one down because I thought that was a boring scene actually. Because they have another interaction, but I thought it was still kind of unsatisfying or whatever.
Same.
Or like he was like, I fought for. She's like, you don't fight for anyone. He's like, I fought for you. I thought that was kind of cool. And then Barrack showed up, and she's like, I don't want to.
I'm outta here.
Sad sacks. I'm getting out
Gotta
of
go
here.
get
Okay.
laid.
Morty.
And that scene happens.
I like that.
I almost wanted to look away. I was like, no.
I didn't watch it.
And then they CGI'd the body, so why even do it?
I figured that's what it was
Yeah.
too.
Did
I
they
knew.
really?
They
Yeah,
had to.
100%.
They had to.
Yeah.
She would not show herself.
No
like that.
way.
No
So
way.
why show it? I don't know. They could have made it. I don't know. Less Game of Thronesy. I mean, with at least with Arya, she's a baby.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's like, what, 20, 21?
Yeah.
22? So, I mean, it's not...
But with her face, she still looks 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially if you, like, rewatch the series, you're like, she still looks the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Arya, or young Arya.
Young. Yeah, still young Arya. Like, I don't want to see
weird.
that.
Weird. But we know that she has a spear now, also. That's the new...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the weapon turned out to
So
be,
it wasn't
right?
any kind of... I guess it was just the way she drew it looked weird.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is it doesn't show her
It looked
like opening it
Secret
up.
contraption.
It looked like it can break apart, and maybe
Oh,
she
maybe
could
it
use
can.
it like as
Maybe
two,
it can.
or that it has some sort of maybe it can project.
So it was
out or
definitely
something.
like
I don't
a
know.
tube and then the
Yeah.
spear.
It definitely looked like it was cut into two. Like there was two pieces.
Yeah.
To put together. Or some
Yeah,
shit.
so I bet she does open it up and
Yeah.
to reveal there's another one under there. She's two of them or something.
Just a smaller one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just keep doing Russian doll,
Russian doll spear.
spears.
Just full of dragon glass. Every one of them.
Yeah.
There you go. Dude.
Yeah.
They had dragon glass along the wall
And then
in
we
case they
get...
climbed up.
Which I'm happy he did it here. John tells Khaleesi that, oh, hey, by the way,
It's true.
I'm your nephew.
I'm your nephew.
Yeah.
His
It's
name
fun.
Had some incest.
is his name Aegon?
Yeah.
Aegon.
Aegon
Targaryen, the seventh.
Seventh. The seventh.
Yeah, so, and
To rule the Seven Kingdoms, Frank.
I was glad he told her before they fought. Because I feel like if he
Yeah.
told her after, like, oh, hey, by the way, after you helped me,
I
I'm
win.
actually the king as well, so...
Thanks for fighting for me
Yeah.
and my throne.
Yeah, so I'm glad he told her right now, like, hey, by the way, like, in case I don't give it... Well, I don't know. I don't know. What, he never said why, but I liked that he told her right then and there. And she was like, what?
Yeah.
How do you think she's gonna take it though? Like,
It wasn't already looking good.
it's,
She
no,
took-
it's
she was
bad.
mad.
But
It's
you
gonna
think
take
she'll
time to process.
Yeah, but you think she's gonna like maybe
mean, through
think
war,
about it,
like-
and then
They'll see what really matters because I don't even think John cares to be king.
Yeah, he really... I don't think he cares.
He just wants to live. He's already dead. Like,
isn't that why he should be king though?
I mean, that's why he
Doesn't want
should
the,
be.
the crown.
But we'll see. Like, it's gonna be up to her then. Like how she reacts to it after all this happens.
Yeah.
So then that's the end of the episode. Yeah, everyone gets ready for battle. Everyone's getting to the wall. All the White Walkers show up.
Which
and the
like
whole line of like actual White Walkers.
yeah, they're not like the zombie ones. They're the dudes on the
Yeah, they're
horse.
actual
The ones that are
White
like
Walkers.
kind of like
Well, I'm assuming the
sentient.
lieutenants were coming up first, and then everyone else is like murdered.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But there's like more of those dudes. As
Yeah,
to
I
like,
thought it was, like,
it would only
4.
show like
Yeah.
3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
Now there's like a ton of them. You know.
It's an army.
So
Okay, Rick.
I'm excited.
You gotta have a fucking because one of those dudes control a shitload of the other zombies, right?
Yeah.
So
I didn't
you
know
kill
that.
one of
The
those
main
dudes
dude.
because when he took one out, all the other ones just fell down and died.
Yeah, they did.
Really, I haven't seen that episode in a while.
Yeah.
Is that what
It
happened?
was,
when
it was
he's in
when,
the wild
when they were
camp?
up in the little like island where all the ice was and they were
and
fighting.
he kills the one in the
He
hut.
kills the one, yeah, and then they all kind of shatter down.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's like, if you take the one that made the others.
Yeah,
That's why.
so that's why you want to kill the Night King because
Yeah.
he made all the other ones.
That's crazy.
Just blew my mind.
Completely forgot
I
about
can't
that.
tell if you're being serious.
No,
or
I
you're
just-
just fucking
no,
trolling
he's
me.
serious.
I
I
can't tell.
completely forgot about that. Legit
Yeah.
forgot.
So you're gonna need a shitload of those lieutenants to fucking command all the other lackeys.
Yeah.
It's like a synapses. It's a hive
Makes
mind.
sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Were
I just like
you
it's like
fighting
a, it's
with?
like a reveal.
Right! Because he's like, how is that obvious that there's a shitload of them, Rick? We've only seen 3. It's an army! The biggest army marching south!
They don't all need to be sentient, though.
It's like
They're just there to kill.
episode 1 attack. No, Phantom Menace. You take out the hive, all the little robots fall down.
Boom.
True. Oh, yeah.
But the main one didn't even show up, right? Is he on the dragon or something?
They haven't shown him.
They
Yeah,
haven't
they
shown
haven't
him.
shown the Night King.
He rode the dragon when he threw down the wall,
Uh-huh.
but they haven't shown him after.
He was riding the dragon
He
when that happened?
rode the dragon, right? He was
Yeah,
on
he
top
was
of it.
riding the dragon. There's
Yeah.
a Funko Pop.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. There's Funko Pop of it.
So,
It goes in
so
part two.
Funko Pop's better source than IMDb, bro?
No,
Yeah,
Funko's better source than you are, also than IMDb.
Yes, that is true. They show actual scenes.
Yes. Actually, yeah, because they have business ties with all the companies
Oh,
and shit,
cool.
and they can release out things beforehand, so they have to hold out on their announcements.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I would say better source than IMDb.
IMDb.
Whatever.
The next
I believe
episode.
it.
The next
20
episode-
minutes longer.
22
Yeah,
minutes.
82, 82 minutes.
82 minutes
Runtime.
That's
The
gonna be a
battle.
lot of
The
fucking.
battle.
Yeah, it's hitting.
Dude, can I say too? I really like the setup of Winterfell. How they have all the dragon glass on the board,
Yeah.
dragon glass, the bridges that
Trebuchets
fall,
and everything.
Everything.
So smart.
It's
I mean,
good,
It's like
man.
they freaking know.
Yeah. It's
like they
like
know
they
how to
live
battle.
in that era.
It's like they know how to do battle. Wow, that's so smart.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, that's, I think the battle, man. I'm scared of who's gonna die and everything.
My
but
friends think everyone's gonna die.
So-
I know. I'm like,
Are we doing a poll? Are we doing a who's gonna fucking die? Are we guessing
like
who's
for
gonna
this
die
next episode?
for this next episode?
For
And
this
someone's
next
gonna fucking die.
episode?
Someone's gotta die, right?
Theon.
It's a battle.
I'll back Theon.
Let's do. Can we do like 3 each, and then whoever wins the most
Whoever wins.
wins
Gets
a
the most
prize,
pizza.
Gets a prize.
I like that.
Okay, in the next episode.
Next
Next
episode.
Assuming
episode.
3 people die.
Well, no. So let's say I say Theon, Jon, and Daenerys, right?
Okay.
But let's say Theon and Daenerys die, but you have only one person that dies. I win. 'Cause
Yeah.
What happens in an
two-
event of a tie?
Like 3 and 3?
You have to chug milk.
Maybe we'll
Whoever
do-
can
whoever
drink, whoever can
finishes-
chug the most milk.
I
Milk.
can't do that anymore. I would have said yes. No.
Alright,
No.
This needs to be fair.
Assuming
you-
you're gonna be the one with.
You chug soy milk.
Oh. Well, I guess
It's not milk.
we
It's
have
not
to-
dairy.
Close.
I don't know. Well, we can't have all the same answers for sure.
Yeah.
Arm wrestle. I love arm
I
wrestling.
don't know how we do a tie.
Archery
4?
contest.
Archery! Brave.
I think 3 still.
Should we do roll of the dice? Do you have a
Oh,
roll of
yeah.
dice?
You
can
So if
roll
there's
the
a tie, we
dice.
just roll who gets higher.
Alright.
Then we'll do Game of Thrones trivia between the ties, and then whoever wins the prize. I don't know. Something.
And
We'll
then
figure
whoever
out.
wins goes first in Game of Thrones Monopoly. We're working
So-
on that, so we'll see if we actually get to play Game of Thrones Monopoly. We're workshopping it. Okay, just want to throw that out there.
Picking the 3 then.
Okay, you gonna pick first?
Well, you go ahead. You've already said 1.
I changed my
Yeah.
mind. I changed
We
my mind.
can have crossover, which is
Okay.
gonna be all the same 3.
Okay.
Because unless you want to do that. So I think Theon for sure. I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna tell a Barrack.
Is that the one with the eye patch?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll go with Jamie because it's been so
Fucking-
deep.
I was gonna say that.
Is it Jamie?
You can still say,
I
but
also
I don't know
want
about
to say Theon.
Oh, it's up to you.
You can say that.
Theon might die in the episode after.
Well, yeah.
That's why I'm
So-
pulling out on Theon.
Are we guessing on just this episode alone?
Yeah, on
Just
the
this
next
episode.
episode. That's
Next
that's
episode.
what I understand.
Can I
So
say
I'm going-
Theon and Jamie?
You can.
Okay, so
Okay,
two that are the same.
and Pod.
How dare you?
I'll just-
Never wanted to.
Yeah, we didn't talk about his scene,
Song.
his song.
Oh,
What'd you
okay.
think of his song?
Never
I liked-
wanted to.
I like the
Because I
female.
forgot.
I like the female version at the end better. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Well,
God.
I think they repeated the same lyric like 6 times at the end, right?
Never wanted to leave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
It was forgettable because I forgot. That's
Pretty much.
What are your 3?
Fuck.
I'm gonna say Tormund, only because they've been hyping him up.
No.
Fucking kill him.
They've already tried to kill him off last season
They
where they
did.
teased it. I feel like this season if they do it, they'll do it while he's fighting here.
But he's always had blue eyes.
Saving Brienne.
Saving Brienne might be one.
I was gonna say
That she'll die?
maybe. I mean, maybe in the next, not in the next episode, but maybe she'll die.
No.
I know, right? It's sad to think
What if
about.
they all
I don't want anybody to die.
I know, right? Can everyone just live? No, it's not good. It's
Theon. How do you go? Let me think of my.
I'm gonna say the Hound.
That's what
I'm gonna say the Hound. I'm gonna say the
It's a
Hound.
good one.
Eye patch, fire patch.
Varric.
Yeah, I don't think Theon's gonna die in the next one. So who's fighting? Who's fighting? And they have a shot of Brienne on the field. It might be Brienne, but it could also be Jaime. Since you said that,
Since he can't fight, really.
I mean, really, but he's a good fighter. Brienne's gonna sacrifice herself for Jaime. So Brienne, the Hound, and Eye Patch is for me.
And I have
I'm gonna pick Jaime.
Theon, Jaime, Beric.
Theon, Jamie, and Pot.
Theon, Jaime, and Tormund.
Okay.
Well, I feel like I need to switch mine up because we have 2 of them.
Yeah, no, I'll switch mine up.
I'll just switch mine up.
Well,
'Cause
even,
you know what?
even
I
if
don't think,
we
I don't think
can't,
Theon
we technically can't
probably
even tie
won't because he's gonna be.
Oh, it's true. We can't tie that.
Because our third one's different.
Yeah. Okay, then we keep it.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm not changing. You change.
Hold on, because I might change out my Theon for someone else because I feel like
Yeah.
he's supposed to be protecting Sansa, right?
They're
Bran.
he's taking care of Bran.
Bran.
A Bran.
Yeah.
Which is the
The
Night
King's
King.
coming.
So that's gonna be episode 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's gonna be later.
Yeah.
Nah,
Nah.
not Theon. Who's gonna be in the immediate shit? It's gonna be Brienne. She's commanding the
On the
left
field,
flank.
yeah.
Who's fighting?
Yeah, so
Everyone's
Oh,
fighting.
Theon. I
forgot
mean,
to mention
Tyrion's
the
gonna be
Grey Worm.
over there.
Can I change
Oh,
mine?
Grey Worm.
Can I change mine?
Great. Yeah, you can change.
I'm good.
Which one's Grey Worm?
The
Unsullied.
leader of the Unsullied.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, because he's there.
He's promising a future
Yeah.
together with her. Fuck! You're right.
Grey Worm.
Fuck Grey Worm. Fuck Grey Worm.
So Grey Worm.
Shit, alright.
Stealing everyone's shit. Just... Fuck.
Fuck.
Who else is
I wanna
fighting?
change.
I think Jorah, he had the big.
Jorah's gonna fight with that big ass
Now
Sam
he's
sword.
gonna fight with Sam's sword.
Sorry guys, there's a lot of little scenes.
Sam
that-
doesn't
No,
have
it's
a
fine.
sword.
Yeah,
There's a lot of scenes in this.
Oh yeah. Well, everyone saw
Little
that.
Sam. They break into the crypt
Oh
and
my
start
God!
killing
Stop
him.
it. Jesus Christ.
Gilly.
Gilly.
Fuck.
The
The little girl that's gonna protect him.
Onion Knight's not fighting, right?
Sir
Which
Davos.
one's that?
Sir Davos.
I don't think he'll die. I think he'll live till
Yeah.
the next.
He has the good
spin-off.
sense to run,
Yeah.
where most of them would keep fighting.
Yeah.
So he's not really. I don't think he's gonna be in the shit.
Yeah.
Who I'm trying to think of who else was in the campfire.
Was Sam gonna fight or stay under with Gilly? That was unclear. He just gave his because he can't
He gave
wield
his-
it, but he's still gonna fight,
I
right?
think so.
Well, I think after his speech,
Yeah.
right, where he was like, "I was one of the first ones to kill White Walker.
Yeah,
I did all
true.
this shit and all that shit." I think after all that, they were gonna keep him.
He was just passing the time with Gilly, the way they were all passing the time, like
think so.
drinking and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense too.
All
All
right.
right,
Got our predictions.
cool. Next up.
And you have your predictions.
You have your predictions.
So come check back with us next time, see if we were right or if you were right.
Or who was right?
We could all be wrong.
We could all be wrong. We probably will be.
Yes.
Anyway, check back with
No
us.
one dies.
No one
See y'all
dies.
laters. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God,
sorry.
Shazam!
Shazam!
Damn.
Frank was a fucker.
But now I am the strongest.
Are you?
Thanos is the strongest.
unbroken.
Oh.
Are you?
The Unbroken.
Unsully?
No.
You'll know later.
That's good. That's a good
Pretty
reference.
good, right? It's good. I can do some of his voices.
I have a
From
voice
Glass.
acting. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so purposely something I did.
Yeah.
He says it in the first one. When he doesn't kill her, he's like, "Oh, you're unbroken," or what is it? What is that?
All right, bro.